Hello everyone. Today we're going to be finding the points of a logarithmic function. So here we have the function y equals to 2 log base of 2 negative x plus 7 minus 3. It also wants us to find the points of this. So with any logarithmic function, we need to remember the fundamental principle that log with the base of whatever and whatever number is next to it, in this case we'll use a, must equal to, let's just use e. We need to remember that x to the power of e will always equal a. Does everyone get that? So in this function we have log base 2 negative x plus 7. So we could take that out and we have log base 2 negative x plus 7 equals to something. What is that something? Well, in this scenario, we could see that negative x plus 7 is a. And we could also see that 2 could be x. So, in other words, x must be to the power of something, e, and equal to negative x plus 7. So how do we find x? Because at the end of the day we need to find the points. Well, at the end of that function that we have separated, we could add any number. Let's say we want 2 to be to the power of 0. So we could rewrite the function as log base 2 of negative x plus 7 is equal to 0. So with this we could say that 2 to the power of 0 is equal to 1, because anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. But that also means that if 2 to the power of 0 is 1, then negative x plus 7 must equal to 1 because of that rule we talked about earlier. So we could say that negative x plus 7 is equal to 1. And then we can just solve from there. 1 minus 7 is equal to 6, to negative 6, I'm sorry. And x would then be equal to 6 after dividing by 1. Now what do we do with this? Well, we just plug it back into that original equation from the beginning. So now we have 2 times log base 2, and then we have negative, we substitute the x for 6, plus 7 minus 3. And then we could solve like normal. So we would have 2 times log base 2 of 1 minus 3. But notice, how do we simplify that log? Well, if we go back to the rule that the base must be to the power of something and equal that a, the a in this case being a 1, 2 to the power of what will equal to 1? Well, we already established that that would be 0. So we could completely rewrite the function as 2 times 0 minus 3, and when we simplify that further, we just get 0 minus 3, which is negative 3. So we know that our y for this point will equal to negative 3. So the point, one of the points, will be 6, because if we look back at what we did earlier, we got x is equal to 6. So x for the point would be 6, and we just got the y, negative 3. So let's try to find another point now. How do we do that? Well, to do that, we would just use a different exponent or set that log that we separated from the original equation equal to another number. In this case, we could use any number, but looking back at what we did, we already used 0. So the next easiest number would probably be to use 1. So let's use that. So off to the side, we can write that 2 to the power of 1 will equal to 2. We know this because if 2 is the base, and we set whatever the base is equal to a number, we used 1, it will equal to negative x plus 7. So now we could write that negative x plus 7 would equal to 2, and then we can solve from there. Subtracting 7 from 2, we would get negative x is equal to negative 5. Dividing by negative 1, we would get x is equal to 5. Once again, we have an x. We plug that back into the original equation. We get y is equal to 2 times log base of 2. We substitute in the 5 for x, so we would have negative 5 plus 7 minus the 3. Now, once again, we would simplify this whole thing, getting 2 times log base of 2, the 2 in the parentheses, minus 3. Once again, we have to find out how do we simplify this log function. We know that 2 must be to the power of something to give us 2. That would mean that this log function would be equal to 1. So we could now write it as 2 times 1 minus 3, getting negative 1. So for this scenario, y would equal to negative 1. So the point would now be x being 5 that we got back at the top, and then the y we just got, which is negative 1. So now we have 2 points, 6, negative 3, and 5, negative 1. So now you can graph these 2 points, or you can continue to find more by setting the log function we took out of the equation, being log base 2, negative x plus 7, to more numbers, for example 2. And with that, you can follow the same steps we did to get a greater number of points, and with these more points, you could therefore make a more accurate graph. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new. Have a good day, and bye.